Welcome to another video of Am I the I'm an earring lover with a lot of opinions, and I'm here for the drama, so get comfy because we're about to dive into the first story. Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on more jewelry and drama. And if you like any of the earrings you see me make in this video, you can purchase them at theaselements.com or message me to create a custom pair of earrings for you. So now let's get into the first story. Am I that for refusing to wear my friend's emotionally charged homemade clay earrings to her art show? So I, 23 female, have this close friend Holly, 24 female, who recently started a jewelry business. She makes earrings, necklaces, and rings out of clay, and they're actually really pretty and unique. The only problem is that she's really into the whole art therapy thing, and every single item she makes has a deep emotional meaning tied to her personal life. Before I continue reading, I want to say there's nothing wrong with using your art as a personal form of therapy for yourself and expressing yourself and your ideas through the pieces that you make. It can be very cathartic, but I think you also have to understand as an artist, your art can be for you while also being something entirely different for someone else. And it's like, for me as a jewelry maker, if there's a piece that's very sentimental to me that has a really deep meaning, then I can make a pair for myself and it can hold that meaning. But the moment I sell it or give it to someone else, it can hold a different meaning, and it's not wrong for their meaning to be different. Let's say I put like a lot of heavy emotions into the earring that I'm making, and then someone just wants the earrings because they think they're cute. There's nothing wrong with that. They're not gonna have the same emotional depth as I do to that piece because there's an attachment to it, something that you made. And so this is just me assuming between the title and the first paragraph that Holly might be wanting the friend to feel about the jewelry the way that Holly feels about the jewelry. And it's like, you can't make people feel the same way that you do, especially as someone who's being gifted something or being given it versus the actual creator. There's always going to be a difference of what you feel towards it. A week ago, she invited me to her first solo art show where she was showcasing her clay jewelry collection. She's really excited about it, and I wanted to support her, so I said I'd definitely come. A few days before the show, she sent a message asking me to wear a pair of her earrings during the event. She explained that these earrings were representative of her struggle with boundaries, and they were emotionally charged in a way that could help others unlock their own personal growth. Now, I appreciate Holly's artistic journey, but the earrings were huge. I mean, they were massive, neon green with sharp, jagged edges, and they literally looked like they were trying to break free from the ear. I told her I didn't feel comfortable wearing something so bold for the show because I didn't want to draw attention away from her work. I thought it'd be more appropriate to wear something more subtle, like a simple pair of hoops or studs. Another thing with earrings and style and fashion is that it's so subjective, and like there's so many pieces that even I'll make, and I only wear them during the appropriate setting because I have other earrings that I've also made that I would rather wear instead. And I think it's okay to support your friend, but be like, hey, these are all the pieces you've given me. I'm going to decide which one I'm comfortable wearing, because you don't want someone to wear a piece that they're not comfortable with, even if it's just that moment, even if this is the type of earring that she would wear in a different situation, because I assume she accepted it for a reason. Either that or she's just being a very nice friend and taking everything. But I would say if you're like OP and you have a friend who's giving you their art, if it's not art that you genuinely like or that you want, and you're not going to give it like the attention and the love and the respect and the care that it deserves, maybe politely tell your friend, hey, this isn't my style. What you made is gorgeous. It's stunning. You're so good at what you do, but it's not for me. So that your artist friend can give it to someone who's going to appreciate it a lot more. And that's my personal opinion. I wouldn't be offended if my friend told me, hey, great work, but that's not an earring I would ever wear, because I don't want to give a pair of earrings to someone where it's going to sit in their drawer when someone else could wear it and actually show it off. So I hope it's just that in this moment, OP didn't want to wear the earrings because they're very bold, and not that she would never wear them. I do also think asking your friends to wear a pair of earrings that you made is acceptable. Dictating which pair it is not. Because again, it's like what they want to wear and what they feel confident in, because you don't want her to wear these really bold earrings. She's unconfident in them and people can see that on her face. Because then if you have other bold earrings, like me, I like to make fun earrings that you can like pull for very specific niche things, because that's how I've always grown up wearing earrings. I've always been the girl who has like the eclectic earring collection. So I have something oddly specific for every place that I go. And that's my aesthetic. That's the type of earrings that I like to make for other people. But with that being said, if I have an event, I'm not going to tell my friends which earring to wear. I'm just going to say, hey, wear a pair of earrings of mine to show off, because how they personally style the earrings is on them, and how they choose to express themselves with the earrings that I've made for them is what I enjoy about earrings. So I'm not going to take that away from someone. Now, if they want tips on styling, I would help them. But that's not what's going on here. It's not like, hey, you made me all these earrings for your showcase. I want to wear the best one. Help me pick it out. I also feel like, and I say this with so much love, a pair of earrings that you made that's representative of your struggle with boundaries is not going to necessarily help others unlock their own personal growth in the same way. Again, they don't know the emotional attachment to the earrings. They don't know what they fully symbolize. Sure, you could have people who look at the earring and see the artistic intention behind it and are like, oh my God, it symbolizes XYZ. You could also have other people who say, green's my favorite color. Those are cool earrings. I want to buy them. You know, it's very subjective with how people purchase things and how they choose to wear things and what they represent for them. I think as someone who also makes earrings, it's okay to be like, my earrings are going to help make you feel beautiful or make you feel confident, because those are things that are influenced by what you wear. I think unlocking your personal growth is a little bit more of a stretch. And like, yes, there is certain accessories that like it could help someone with their personal growth, but I don't think the connect is going to be as fluid as Holly thinks it is. Holly was really upset when I told her no. She said I was undermining her emotional expression and that if I couldn't wear her art, then I wasn't truly supporting her. She even posted on her story about how people who aren't ready to wear the art don't deserve to see the soul behind it. Got it. I'm sensing a vibe from Holly, and all I'm going to say on that is that I don't think me and Holly would be friends. I'm going to finish the story and then share more of my thoughts. I feel bad because she's my friend and I did want to support her, but I also don't want to wear earrings that make me look like a glowing cactus. Am I the for not wearing her emotionally charged earrings to her art show? Okay, we got layers here. Now I'm a little confused. I don't necessarily know if Holly has made OP multiple pairs of earrings or if it was only this specific pair of earrings. I would say if this is the only pair you have, I understand why Holly is a little bit upset that you're not going to wear them. And that's with me not even paying attention to the emotional weight of why Holly wants OP to wear the earrings. If OP did not like the earrings, she should have said that from the very beginning, because I think it is acceptable if you give your friend a pair of earrings that you made and then you have a showcase of the earrings that you made, you're going to want your friend to wear the earrings to that showcase. That's valid. That makes total sense. So then I am going to say OP is a little bit of for accepting a gift that she truly didn't like and now is refusing to wear it in public, when Holly could have kept that earring, given it to someone else who would love it, and made a different pair of earrings for OP. If OP has other pieces and Holly is just upset that OP is not wearing that specific piece, then I think Holly is the asshole, because again, you don't get to decide what of your earrings your friend wears and when. Like, I think you could say, oh, I would love it if you wore this piece, but you can't be upset when they don't. I also think Holly is the asshole for her response. I understand her response of feeling unsupported, but her other response of people who aren't ready to wear the art don't deserve to see the soul behind it. It's giving the artist who is so self-involved that they only focus on themselves and what they're feeling. Because I would have understood if she was like, if people aren't going to appreciate what I make them, then don't accept it because I didn't force it on you. But to be like, they don't deserve to see the soul behind it. It's like, no, this is still your friend. You can make something that's not aesthetic for your friend and her style, but still share what you do with your friends. Like, there's so many earrings that I'll make and my friends have different styles. And like some pairs, they're like, oh my God, can you make me some? I would love it. How much is it? Other earrings are like, I love what you do and that looks so dope, but I would never wear it because it's not something that I'm comfortable wearing. Some people, it literally comes down to the fact that they don't like heavy earrings. So they're not going to wear super big earrings. They're going to wear things that are more dainty and more lightweight. And like, that's totally fine. Again, why do you want people to have your earrings if they're not going to be feeling confident and beautiful when wearing them? I don't understand this like need to be like, you're my friend, you have to support me, you have to wear what I make. When it's like, if you don't have the same style, that's not going to work. And I feel like that's weird to be forcing your friends to like support you in a way that's so personal and self-expressive. I feel like if OP only has the one pair of earrings from Holly, then it's a situation where everyone sucks here, because the communication here was just not what it needed to be on either end. I think prior to accepting the pair of earrings, OP should have been more clear if she would actually be comfortable wearing these earrings or not. And I also think Holly needed to respond to this better and not take it so personally, even though I know it feels personal. So I understand that to a certain extent. But I feel like the post on her story is giving passive aggressive, and that's just not how I like to handle stuff. So that's where I feel like she is being an I also want to reiterate like the whole emotionally charged aspect of the earrings too. Like, I think including that as why Holly is upset is where it also gets super ridiculous, because again, your earrings are going to have emotional weight for you as a creator that's not going to have for other people. And like, to think that if your friend didn't wear these earrings to the show, that people aren't going to understand your creative vision, just means that whatever collection Holly is showcasing can't speak on its own. And it's just giving insecure. And so I just feel like right now there's a big disconnect of like how to genuinely be a supportive friend versus what Holly is expecting of you. And she said that like she struggled with boundaries. And I do have to speculate, is she struggling with boundaries because people are actually like walking past her boundaries and not caring? Or is it that she's very entitled and expects more people and then gets upset with them when they don't like give into her whims? I don't know. That story really threw me off, and it just feels like there could be more that we don't have the information for. I tried to scroll through the comments and I'm not seeing any updates or anything. So I think that's kind of the end of the story there. Our next story is, am I that for wanting to make/sell these earrings? Hi there, sorry this is long. I'm a jewelry artist and I make jewelry from repurposed materials, primarily vintage tins. One of the shops that carries my earrings said that all things butterflies do particularly well there. So I started searching for tins with butterflies on them. After only finding one good tin with butterflies on it that would work for me to cut up and repurpose into earrings, I considered making butterflies out of the tins themselves. That's what I was initially thinking before I saw that OP was looking for tins with butterflies. I've tried in the past to make full butterflies in this way and it didn't turn out the way I wanted it to, so I decided instead to try cutting the tins into single butterfly wings. I made a pair and was super excited to have this new shape as a possibility in my earring collection. Everything's sounding cool here. Honestly, I would love to see what the final result looks like because I feel like it would look so cool. At that point, I remembered that another local jewelry artist makes butterfly wing earrings out of textiles. Butterfly wings in various shapes are her primary style. I actually have a pair of her earrings because we did a trade at a market we were both at last year. I pulled them out and compared them to what I made and didn't find them to be similar at all. They are different sizes, they are completely different materials. She uses beads in hers, I do not. I use precious metal ear wire, she does not. However, since they were also butterfly wings, I thought it was the right thing to reach out to her and tell her that I was considering making these wing earrings and ask her what she thought about it. To my surprise, she was taken aback and shocked that I would consider making something so similar to what she makes. After sending several emails back and forth, with her expressing more and more how she didn't think it was right for me to make them, I was sick of the drama and told her I wouldn't pursue them. However, as time went by and the more I thought about it, the more I didn't feel like that was fair. I talked to a few fellow artists who said things like, nobody owns butterfly wings. That's exactly what I was thinking. And to make what I want to make and not worry about it, because literally so many people make butterfly wing earrings. Here's what I was thinking. Even if OP was making like textile butterfly wings, she doesn't own it and you were still making it. You're still like doing your own designs. I would say like don't use the same exact materials and patterns and stuff, but if you're just using different cloth or textiles, whatever, with different patterns and making butterfly wings and you make the same similar style, again, it's not patented. It's probably not even all that unique. It's just unique to your local area. I'm sure there's someone else in the world who probably makes them too. And at the end of the day, you were making this because butterflies do well. That's what you were told. You came up with the idea with the tins, a completely different material. Only after you executed it, you were like, oh my God, I forgot this other artist also makes butterfly wings. Let me make sure I'm not stepping on her territory. So like one, you weren't doing anything too similar. But then you like tried to do the right thing. You tried to reach out. You tried to make sure there was no bad blood. And at the end of the day, even if it was the exact same style that she was making, you're still your own artist. So how you make it is going to be different than what she's doing. You're not like stealing everything from her. I would say I would understand then that she was a little bit more upset because she thought that you guys had like a civil relationship. And I would feel a little upset if like someone I knew was directly making the same exact thing as me. But that's not even what's going on here. Butterflies is a very generic symbol. It's something that's a lot of jewelry makers make in one way or the other. And I've seen so many clay makers make clay butterfly wings and they don't get upset when someone else makes their own clay butterfly wings because that doesn't make sense. Still another artist going through the process of making it themselves, of doing the work to create the butterfly wing. This is not someone buying a bunch of earrings from her and reselling them and stealing her work. And again, if you were making textile ones, I would understand it a little bit more. OP is making her butterfly wings out of a completely different material. So to act like you own the right to all butterfly wings in earring forms is very ridiculous and entitled. And it's screaming insecurity that this other artist doesn't see that they can both sell butterfly things and not compete for business in this area. I also think like there's a difference between like you as an artist feeling upset because someone's selling a similar product and being a little afraid that it's going to take away from like your market and like your money. I understand the fears that comes with that as being like a small business, of being like, I want to pay my bills and I knew that this would help me pay my bills and now I'm afraid. But that is where you have friends and family that you can vent to, and you're allowed to feel how you're feeling. It's another thing to feel your feelings and tell this other person you can't make that, and try and paint them out to be a villain when they too are just someone who's trying to make products that sell so they can pay their bills. You know, this was not done with any malicious intention. It also was something that OP didn't even realize was going to be similar into after it was made. Again, out of different materials. So even if the end result is similar looking, it's still very different ways to get there. I'm sure the time it takes to make the earrings is different. Nothing about the final result of it looking like butterfly wings is copying this other artist. What's being copied is butterfly wings, which is going to be the same concept everywhere in the world. And so I feel like this other artist is too much on her high horse and only focused on herself and thinking like she invented butterfly wings, and is either trying to scare OP out of it for the money, or is so entitled that she thinks she's the only person who has a right to create an idea and to sell that idea. I don't know. It's very weird behavior if you ask me. It's very entitled. I talked to a few fellow artists who said things like, nobody owns butterfly wings, and to make what I want and not worry about it, because literally so many people make butterfly wing earrings. Exactly. A search on Etsy turns up 1,000 plus listings. It's a symbol that so many people use. It's not for her to use alone. So I decided to go for it and emailed her to tell her I changed my mind and was going to proceed. Honestly, I can't believe OP ever was going to give in to her. I'm so glad that OP didn't, because this is wild behavior. Fast forward to now, I received 3 emails from her stating that she's been sick to her stomach over this, that all of her friends and other artists that she's talked to agreed with her that it's wrong of me to copy her design being in such close proximity to her, and the fact that I'm better established than her. This is an insecurity thing. This is entirely insecurity, and I get it. Everyone has to start somewhere though. I also don't want to be this person, but sometimes I like to be shady. I don't know how long she's been working for. I don't know how long OP has been working for. Either this is insecurity of a new artist who doesn't understand how the world works and is just in an echo chamber of her friends who are telling her that she's right and she doesn't have any outside opinions, or this is an artist who's maybe been doing it longer than OP and is a little bit jealous that her booth is getting better attention because maybe OP makes better products. Or what I'm also thinking is that OP makes very unique products and has a very unique way to market them because she reuses tins, versus this other artist uses textiles, which is probably more common and is making earrings that people could get elsewhere. And so I think this is just like an insecurity thing. I'm gonna be honest though, as like someone who makes earrings and someone who is also an avid earring enthusiast and owns a lot of earrings. If I saw 2 butterfly earrings out of 2 very different materials and I wanted both of them, I would buy both of them, because I'm sure that they don't look the same when you actually like compare them. I'm sure they both look like butterfly wings, but I'm sure they look different. And I'm sure they have different aesthetics and different styles and different vibes. So if I wanted both of them, I would buy both of them. I don't feel like OP making her tin earrings is taken away from this other artist. And I think her feeling like OP would be taking the market away is her just feeling jealous about OP's success overall. Because OP was told from a third party, butterflies do really well. So it seems like everyone knows butterflies is what sells in this area, which tells me that the market is not like split of like, I can only buy this one butterfly earring. No, it tells me that everyone loves butterflies in this place. They sell very quickly. So the more options means that there's more variety. And maybe some people aren't going to want the textile ones, but they probably weren't going to want them anyway. And whether or not they buy the tin one is irrelevant. And it feels like the artist can't separate that. It's like this artist can't comprehend that some products are just not for certain people, and someone else selling their product isn't taking away from you. People don't always wear the same earrings every day. They can change them. Some people have multiple piercings. Some people like to layer their piercings. I feel like in most industries, but especially earrings, we don't really have to gatekeep stuff. At the end of the day, if someone wants to buy from you, it's because they either support you as an artist or they like what you make. And like, your work should stand for itself. It shouldn't matter what someone else 5 booths down from you is selling. She said that what I'm doing is not karmically positive or ethically correct, both of which is false. Karmically positive is just a made-up term that this other artist is trying to guilt OP with. And ethically correct, I mean, it is. It's just not something that she likes. Again, if OP had completely ripped off her designs and everything, I would understand it's not really that ethical. Like, yes, you can, but should you? This is an entirely different material. It's an entirely different process. She doesn't own butterfly wings. She's just entitled. OP adds, for the record, I came up with the idea on my own, as previously stated. Exactly, that's what I pointed out before. So am I for wanting to make and sell these earrings. I wish I could post a pic, but that doesn't seem to be an option. Would it be different if I only sold them outside of our shared area, or if I didn't sell them if we are both at the same market, which has only happened once? Thank you for your time. Okay, honestly, OP has gone above and beyond to try and like handle this in a karmically positive way. OP is clearly not the even if OP were to sell the earrings directly next to this other artist's booth, it would not change my opinion. I guarantee you every artist could point out the differences of them and how this is not theft at all of anyone's intellectual ideas. And to try and claim that it is, or that it's wrong of OP to sell these, makes the other artist such an It really feels like this other artist is insecure by the success of OP and is trying to bully and intimidate OP, thinking that that's going to make OP leave and not sell and not be competition anymore so she can take over the market. Honestly, if I'm in OP's shoes and the emails keep happening and it feels like harassment, I would just screen record all the Etsy listings, send it as an email with the subject, found some other karmically unpositive people that you probably want to fight to. Because a symbol is not something that you own. And again, even if things were different and it was like same concept, the same idea, it's still made differently. I'm sure on Etsy, you're gonna see that there's some butterfly wings that look the same because like some people have the same idea or they learn the same skills and they make products that look the same. But it all comes down to the quality of the products and like the person's business and branding. You can't own something so vague as a butterfly wing earring. It would have to be a little bit more complex for you to say, hey, this person stole my idea. And if that was the case, it would be a completely different story. But the only similar thing is the symbol that they both are derived from. And it's wild to me that this other artist doesn't understand that what she's asking OP to do is not something that anyone would agree to, unless they're like really new and a pushover and doesn't understand that they're not in the wrong. Because this is bullying. This other artist is trying to intimidate OP to stop, and it almost worked. It's only because OP had the advice of other artists to be able to like stand up and say, no, I'm not going to. I really do wonder, we don't have their ages here, but I do wonder if there's also an age difference here, which makes the other artists feel like they're able to push OP out or like bully OP, because it feels like this is all stemming from like a insecurity, and I would just love to like know what's truly fueling that insecurity. Is it like age? Is it success? Is it like the talk of the town? Is it branding, social media? Like what exactly is it that's making this other artist feel inferior to OP? Okay, I have one more story for today. Am I that for not giving my cousin free jewelry for her kid's birthday party? I, 23 female, have just started a jewelry business and my cousin has an entitled attitude. What a great combination. Starting a business and having entitled family members. It's always just such a headache when you have people who feel like because you make something, they're entitled to it. And I think gifting earrings is entirely different. Like there's been so many times in my life where I wanted an excuse to make a new pair of earrings or test out a design or to make something for someone that I made them a pair of earrings and gave it to them because I wanted to. And I think a lot of people who make things will understand that. It's not that you can't make things for free. It's that you want to when there's no pressure to. So you can do it on your terms. Like if people genuinely like love you and care about you and are nice to you, you're gonna like want to like give them something in some way. But it's completely different when someone is entitled to that and thinking that, oh, you make something so you can make it for free and give it to me, because that's where you lose me. All of a sudden, even if I did want to make you something, I don't anymore because of your attitude. Because I feel like when artists do give things to people, it's people who you know have like supported you and respect your art and respect what you're doing. And you're like, thank you for supporting me. Here, I made you this. Instead of being like, give me that. There's just a different vibe about it. And I think everyone who has experienced it knows what I'm talking about. It's like the entitlement literally makes it where it's like any joy I had giving this to you has now gone away, and now I actually want to do the opposite and keep it for myself. So let's keep reading. She expects small businesses run by her family and friends to give her free stuff. I hate that mindset, as we can already see, I already talked about. She always took from me as a kid. Oh my God. That's even worse. That's even worse. Oh wait, cousin, sorry. I mean, there could be an age difference. For a moment, I was thinking that this was like a grown adult taken from a kid. I think for the most part with entitled people, you can reflect on their childhood and see where that entitlement started. And I think a lot of times it stems from kids acting entitled, because I think innately a lot of kids do act entitled, and that's something that we have to learn not to be. And I think a lot of times when there's like entitled people who like stay that way into adulthood, we can see like where there was failure of like the parents to correct that behavior. Obviously that's not going to be the case for everyone, but I find it's a case for a lot of people. You can see this was not something your parents tried to fix. They actually leaned into it, and that's part of why you are the way that you are. I feel like it always starts young and then it just like carries over, because it's like OP's cousin taking from her even as a kid is something that should have been corrected then and there. She took my clothes, toys, makeup, and everything because she's my family and I shouldn't be so stingy. Okay, but like that's not on the cousin to decide. That's what I hate about the entitled attitude. I grew up in a household where me and my sister do share things, but there's certain things that we don't share because there's certain boundaries for us. And it's not because we're being stingy. That's because you don't have a right to access everything of everyone else's. You need their permission. And sure, most people are going to share. Like most people are going to be like, no, that's fine. It doesn't bother me. But then there's going to be certain things that it does. That's not for you to decide whether that's right of them or not. She was the favorite child of my family and people let her act entitled and act like an absolute spoiled brat. See, this is what I'm saying. It's always the families that makes these people stay entitled because this is behavior. If she was told as a kid, hey, that was wrong, don't do that, or no, you don't get to take this, or like, hey, stop being upset that someone said no to you, like you're not entitled to them saying yes. If she was just taught this as a kid, it would be fine. But because no one enforced it, and she probably, since she was the favorite child of the family, that also would have made it hard. Even if one person said no, then she can just go run to someone else, and they're like, why are you being so mean, and let her get away with it. So it's like, it's a collective work. Yesterday, my cousin messaged me. She asked me, I would like some jewelry to put in gift bags for my daughter's birthday party. When could you finish making it? Wow. I said, I have a lot made already, but if you need more, I can make more. For 30 bracelets, 30 necklaces, and 30 pairs of earrings, it will be $300. Keep in mind, it would have been $600, but I was being generous and giving her a discount. Okay, because I was going to say $300 seems low. Honestly, you're more generous than me. Because if there's someone in my life who has always been entitled, I'm charging full price for that. I'm pretending like discounts don't exist. What are they? Never heard of them. She then messaged me back and said, I'm not paying $300. As your family, I shouldn't have to pay anything. Okay, well then I guess you don't have any party favors. See, this is why I can't be put into these situations, because when I get pissed off is when my pettiness comes out, and I would be so petty, and like I would feel bad for the niece, don't get me wrong, but I'm not gonna give you free stuff when your mom is treating me like that. I responded, no money, no jewelry. Yay for OP. Setting boundaries, we love it. I'm sick and tired of your entitled attitude. I would not be helping you with this. Well said, OP. My cousin told me I was ruining her kid's party. No, she ruined her kid's party because she's cheap. She went to my family and said I was mean to her and wouldn't let her have free stuff. Oh no. Her cousin doesn't get to steal money from free products from OP small business. What a shame. My family told me I was selfish and that I should give her the jewelry for free because I wouldn't be that successful anyways. Wow, your family sucks. I don't know what OP's family situation is like and like what her contact with them is, but I would really be gearing up for low contact with the people who are talking to me like that. It seems like they're super unsupportive. What I think people forget with small businesses who make things is that the cost of materials cost money and our time costs money. And this is 90 different jewelry pieces that OP would be making. Not to mention that 30 pairs of earrings is actually double because for every earring you have to make 2. So it takes time to make everything. And that's time that like she could be making these 90 products for her small business, making $600 and putting that back into the business. What they effectively want OP to do is to steal from herself to give to the cousin who's acting entitled. So not even acting like gracious and generous and being like, oh my God, thank you so much. Because that would be different. Because I don't really consider it stealing if you are willing to do it. If you love your family and you're like, hey, it's my niece's birthday, I'm gonna make these party favors, no charge. Completely different story. Because you're choosing to do that as a small business owner. You know the cost of it and you're willing to do that. It's another when someone's being entitled and saying it should be free when you already gave them a discount. OP already is like $300, the best I can do to make it where I make some money, but still give her a discount. And that wasn't even good enough. And this is why I wouldn't have given any discount. I would not have been feeling generous at all. I would have said it's $600. And then if she counters with it's free, I would have said it's $300. And then Cena, that would have worked as the compromise where the cousin who's entitled feels like she won, even though she really didn't, because I was always planning on $300. Sometimes you got to be a little bit strategic with how you work with people when you know how their mind is. But honestly, I don't know if that would have even worked or if she just only wanted free stuff and was still going to act this way. Obviously, I think it's safe to say that OP is not the and that the cousin is and OP is just surrounded by a family who is gaslighting her and enabling the cousin. Overall, super unsupportive of her because that is wild to say, you're selfish, give her the jewelry for free because you're not going to be successful. Anyway, well, no, duh, she's not going to be successful if she's always giving away all her inventory. Like, you're not going to be able to grow a business just by giving to your family. And OP clearly knows this. I don't think she's going to be unsuccessful. But it's like, if you want her to be successful, all her time, all her money should go to the business. not to giving her cousin free stuff, who didn't even mention like there would be any promotion. I don't know how old the niece is, honestly, that changes it too, because if this is a party for 6-year-olds and you're giving them jewelry, it's like you could promote it all you want. No one's really gonna pay attention to like where the jewelry came from. Versus like if they're all older, like teenagers, then they might actually have some money from their jobs and they might want to buy more pieces, you know? But I don't even think the cousin would entertain promoting it, because how dare you make my daughter's party about you? I can just hear it now. I'm reading the comments. Someone else says, not that like you said, no money, no jewelry. And OP replies, I hate the attitude she has. Honestly, I can't stand entitled people. Someone else said exactly what I said. You definitely won't be successful. You're just giving your stuff away. Not that family's family, but fair is still fair. OP responds again, that's my point. I won't have a profit if I give my stuff away. Honestly, I think OP needs more people in her life to validate her and her feelings, because I think the family has created this toxic echo chamber to enable the cousin and make OP feel crazy. And they're basically gaslighting her into being like, you're wrong. And I feel like Reddit is a starting place for OP to realize like she's not wrong. Like this is wild behavior. Okay, reading another comment. OP says that she's blocked the cousin. So yay for her, setting boundaries. We love. Maybe she should get the green earrings from the first story. So that's it for the Reddit stories today. I'd love to hear your takes in the comments down below. If you agree with me, if you disagree. I feel like all 3 of these stories, we were dealing with entitled people who were feeling like their feelings was more important than other people. And so I love to hear in the comments down below, if you're an artist, have you ever dealt with entitled people like this? Make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out when I post my next Reddit video. And make sure you like this video so I know you want to see more Reddit content from me in the future. Don't forget, if you want to buy any of the earrings you saw in today's video, you can purchase them at theaselements.com. And until next time, remember to shine bright, be bold, and feel beautiful. Bye!